So I was thinking we'd work on the core a little bit to begin with. Maybe do pistons. Going to strengthen the belly, the core up, and maybe work our way into cow face pose, Gomukhasana. So hips and shoulders for that pose. We'll see how that goes. So core work, hips, shoulders, cow face pose. So we're going to start on our back. And we'll just do a little bit of breathing first. So just lie on your back, knees bent, feet on the ground, and just rest the right hand on the belly, left hand on the chest somewhere. Eyes closed. And just focus on the breath, focus on the body. Just relax to begin with. Now let's start taking deeper breaths. As you inhale, feeling the belly rise and the chest expand. Exhale from the chest, belly sinks. Inhale into the belly and then the chest. Exhale, chest sinks and the belly sinks. Nice long slow breath, just keep going at your pace for a few more rounds. Now extend the legs and then just make sure you've got plenty of room here. Bring the arms over the head, get a full body stretch. Extend the arms towards the ceiling, interlacing the fingers, so pushing the palms towards the ceiling, shoulder blades down, trying to touch the ground with the shoulder blades. And then start bringing the arms over the head again, but this time with the fingers interlaced. And then walk the feet in, knees bent again. You can bring the hands on the belly or on the floor, and we're just going to pull the knees in and then touch the ground with the toes, then knee in, toes down. And we're just going to do that a few times, keeping the back nice and low, keeping the knees bent so you're not straightening the legs at all. If you've got your hands on the belly, you can feel those muscles working. You should be able to feel them working. And next we straighten one leg. We do this quite a lot. One leg is straight and nice and low, other knees bent, and we synchronize the movement of the legs. Again, back is nice and low. And this time, that core is working all the time. Keep it strong. And whenever you're ready, we're going to add the arm. So as one knee comes in, the opposite arm is going to go over the head. So we're synchronizing the movement of the arms and the legs. Again, back is low, maybe you're touching the ground over the head with the fingertips. You don't have to. But if you can and the shoulders are okay with that and the back isn't coming up too high, that's okay. Another 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We'll bring the legs straight up towards the ceiling. Trying to get the legs straight, 90 degrees between the torso and the legs. Gaze towards the ceiling, arms at about 45 degrees. We take the legs over from side to side. And the arms are useful, pushing the arms, the hands into the ground as you lower the legs, so you can go down slow, and to help you bring the legs back up. So we never go down too far. We don't want to make it too difficult, but we go down far enough so, you know, we're getting a little bit of a challenge, but it's not too difficult. And you might find as you get into a rhythm, you can start going down a little bit lower. Couple more each side. Don't forget, if you need to stop at any time, go for it. We're all different here, all different levels, different strengths, different flexibility. We do what's good for us. Back to center, and then the feet down to the ground. Just take a few breaths, relax. Okay, pistons. They were going to work the lower abs a little bit more than anything else. And again, you can stop whenever you need to, but we're going to start off regular pistons. We bring the legs up again. This time the arms in a bit closer. We move with the breath. Inhale through the nose, exhale through the mouth. Whenever you're ready, go. 10 more. Bring the feet down. Those are regular pistons. Side to side pistons, we bring the legs up, over to one side, over to the other side, and again we're using the breath. So a little bit slower on these. And the hands are a little bit further out. Legs up, whenever you're ready, go. Side to side. Up and over. Another 10. Back to center, feet down to the ground. Okay, good morning. Good way to start Saturday. Next, 10 more regular, or 20 more. Arms in a bit closer, legs up. Whenever you're ready, go. Halfway. And then bring the feet down. Good job. Full body stretch. Stretching out those muscles we just worked. This time we add a bit of a side stretch. Stretching out the side ribs and the hip. And then stretch out the other side. Don't forget to breathe. We recenter, we walk the feet in, we pull the knees in, we hold onto the back of the legs, and we rock ourselves up into a seated position. Okay, let's warm the shoulders up a little bit. So as I say, we're going to work our way to cow face pose, Gomukhasana. A lot of need to open shoulders for it, open hips. So we're going to just loosen up the shoulders to begin with. And then we're going to bring the arms up. So lines of energy through the arms. Shoulders totally soft. No tension in the shoulders if you can avoid that. We bring the right arm under the left arm. Eagle arms. We get the hands parallel, back of the hands or the palms. We touch the nose with the thumb. We get tall. We tuck the chin slightly. And we start to bring the arms up and breathe. We release. We extend the arms to the side. We bring the left arm under the right arm, getting the hands parallel. We touch the nose with the thumb. We tuck the chin slightly. We bring the arms up and we take a few breaths here. And we release. We move the shoulders again. We bring the right arm up, parallel to the ground, retract the shoulder back, and you can start pulling that arm in, pull above the elbow, get tall, and pull the arm in a bit closer on each exhale, and then start adding a twist. Inhale back to center, switch, other arm extended forward, shoulder back, we start pulling that arm in. Each inhale getting tall, each exhale maybe pulling that arm in a little closer, and then we add the twist. And then we unwind, recenter, move those shoulders again. Interlace the fingers behind, pull the shoulders down, shoulder blades together. You're trying to get the arms nice and straight. You hinge forward, and as you hinge, you start to bring the arms up and tuck the chin. Let the head relax. Be kind to the shoulders. And then we slowly come back up. Come onto your hands and knees. Cat-cow. Inhale, belly down, head up. Exhale, round in the back, tucking the chin. Inhaling into cow. Exhaling into cat. Just moving with the breath. Okay, we're going to do this back stabilization. We're going to hold this for a little while, a little bit longer than usual. So we'll just start bringing the right leg up, keeping those hips even, and you're looking directly between the hands. So I've been doing this more often in my own practice. So what I tend to do is I hold this for like a count of 30. I'm not sure if we're doing it this long today because I'm not really counting. But I'm holding it longer than we normally do in the class. And then I'm adding the opposite arm. And we're trying to keep those hips nice and even. And I'm holding this a little bit longer. You should be feeling those glutes working, those lower back muscles working. Bit of a challenge to hold it still. But this is really going to help stabilize the back. This is good. And then we'll switch. We'll bring the other leg up. Not too high, so you don't want it too high like this. You want to try and keep those hips nice and even to the ground. Not too high. The back is neutral. You're not sort of sinking the belly too much, but you're not sort of rounding the back. It's a nice neutral back. So we're trying to strengthen as the back is in its natural neutral position. And then we bring the opposite arm up. The idea is for the back stabilization, you've got those strong muscles around the spine, keeping that back happy, making sure it's not going out of alignment. That's the idea. It's a little bit of a challenge trying to keep still with the arm and the leg up as well. And then we bring the hand down and we come into child's pose. Back onto the hands and knees. Puppy dog. We're extending the arms forward. We're tucking the chin. Maybe the forehead is on the ground. So it's like downward facing dog, except we're on the knees. But you're still pushing the hands into the ground. You're pulling the armpits towards the ground. So the arms are very active. And then we'll come into regular down dog. Now, when we do the flow, quite often we'll hold down dog, and if you prefer to do puppy dog because it's a problem on your wrist, for instance, you can just pop the knees down and do the puppy dog. So downward facing dog. We bring the hips up and back. Check the feet out. Outer edges of the feet parallel. You're pushing the hands into the ground, armpits towards the ground. You're looking between the legs. You're going a little deeper with each breath. Back is neutral. Bend the knees if you need to keep the back neutral. Eventually, back is neutral, legs are straight, heels are down. But back neutral is number one. Legs straight, that's the second. And number three is the feet all the way down to the ground. But get that back neutral first and downward facing dog. We come into plank. So we're coming high up on the toes. So I've got my heels over the toes. I start to round the back. And then I open up into plank. And I'm going to walk the feet a little bit further back. And that takes the pressure off the wrists. If there's too much pressure on the wrists, you can come into a forearm plank. Don't sink between the shoulders. And you're looking directly down between the hands. And you're breathing. This is another way to stabilize the back, to strengthen the core. You're going to feel it in the arms as well. Side plank, we bring the right hand to center. We stack the feet. You bring the left arm up. And again, you can be on the forearm, with that bottom hand facing the side of the mat if you need to. In this full plank, bottom foot can be down, or the bottom knee can be down. Top foot can be down, or the bottom knee can be down. Or top leg up if you want a little bit more challenge. We come back into plank, and we do side plank on the other side. Take whichever option is good for you. If you can do the regular side plank, maybe look up towards that top hand and then bring the leg up if you can. You breathe. Back into regular plank, knees down, and then into child's pose. And then we slowly come up. A little bit of a back bend here. So come up, sit on the heels, hands behind, so the fingers are nicely lined up with the toes here. Chin tucked, elbows bent slightly. We're opening the chest a lot. You can stay here. If the neck is good, you can lower the head carefully. And if you want a little bit more opening at the front of the body, you bring the hips up. I usually keep my elbows slightly bent in this pose. Breathe, don't forget to breathe, we don't hold the breath. And we bring the sit bones down. Slowly come up, slide the hands forward, tuck the toes, back into downward facing dog. We look forward, walk forward between the hands. Inhale halfway up. Exhale as you fold forward, knees bent. Inhale, we come all the way up. Exhale into mountain. Okay, half salute. Inhale, sweep those arms up. Exhale, folding forward and down. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, we fold forward again. Inhale, we come all the way up. Exhale, mountain. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold forward and down. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, we fold forward again. Inhale, we come all the way up. Exhale, mountain. Inhale, sweep those arms up. Exhale, folding forward and down. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale as you fold forward. Inhale, we come all the way up. Exhale, mountain. One more. Inhale, sweep the arms up, reach up. Exhale, fold forward and down. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, we fold forward again. Inhale, we come all the way up. This time, keep the fingers interlaced. Point the index finger towards the ceiling. Get tall. Take a bit of a side stretch. You're leaning over to one side. You're trying to keep the body in one plane. You're looking up towards the ceiling. Inhale, back up, exhale, over to the other side, 3 or 4 breaths. Inhale, we come back up, and then we're going to interlace the hands behind us again, just like we did when we were seated. We're pulling the shoulders down, shoulder blades together, so the arms are nice and straight. We bend the knees, we rest the belly on the legs, and then we slowly bring the head down as the arms come up. Head is totally relaxed. Be kind to the shoulders. And then we come back up. Okay, let's do a little bit more flow. I'm going to face you guys this time. There we go. So we're going to come into chair. So the feet are parallel. Inhale as the arms come up. Exhale, fold forward and down. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, we plant the hands. We're in plank. Knees down, chin, chest forward and down. Inhaling into cobra or up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale the right leg up to the ceiling, extended down dog. Exhale, we sweep that foot through. We're going straight into warrior one. And we're going to hold warrior one. Looking up with a bit of a back bend, or you can look forward with the arms parallel, whatever feels good for you. So hold warrior one. So this is going to stretch out the inside of that back leg, inside of the hip. Warrior two. We readjust that back foot. Maybe go a little deeper and you're looking over that extended right arm. Reverse warrior. And then we flow to the other side. Plank. Chaturanga, or knees, chin, chest to ground. Cobra or up dog. Exhale into down dog. Inhale the left leg up, extended down dog. We sweep that foot through. We come into warrior one on the other side. Taking a bit of back bend if you want. We exhale into warrior two. Reverse warrior. And then we come into plank. Chaturanga. Inhaling into up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. And we hold down dog, 3 or 4 breaths. You can do child's pose if you want. Or you could do an extra vinyasa. Plank, chaturanga, up dog, down dog. We end up in downward facing dog. We look forward, walk forward between the hands. Inhale halfway up. Exhale, folding forward, knees bent. We're back in chair. And then we come all the way up. So what I'm going to do next, we're going to do the flow. I call it a lunge salutation. This is the version I got out of Eric Schiffman's book, Moving into Stillness. We inhale, but we're going to take it a little bit slower. Inhale into chair, exhale fold forward, inhale halfway up, exhale we plant the hands. Actually I'm just bringing the fingertips to the ground. I'm taking the right leg back, knee down, inhale as the arms come up, we're into a lunge. We're going to hold this for a few breaths. Now in Eric Schiffman's book, he just holds this for one breath, which I do sometimes with you guys, but sometimes it's good to hold it for a few more breaths. So on your next exhale, we bring the hands down, we come into plank, chaturanga on knees, chin, chest to ground, inhale into cobra or up dog, exhale, down dog, we hold down dog for a breath or two. We inhale the right leg up, extended down dog, and then we sweep that foot through, back knee down, and we're in lunge on the other side, and we hold this for a breath or two. We bring the hands down, back foot joins the front foot. We inhale halfway up, exhale folding forward, knees bent, we're back in chair, and then we come all the way up. Inhale into chair. Exhale folding forward. Inhale halfway up. Exhale fingertips to the ground, left leg back, knee down, left leg back this time. We hold the lunge, arms up. On your next exhale, we come into plank. Chaturanga or knees, chin, chest to ground, cobra or up dog. Exhale, down dog. Breath or two in down dog. Inhale the left leg up. Exhale, we sweep that foot through. Back knee down. Inhaling the arms up. And on your next exhale, hands down, back foot joins the front foot. We inhale halfway up. Exhale, folding forward, knees bent. We're back in chair. And then we come all the way up. Okay, a little bit faster. And we're going to move with the breath, and we'll just hold down dog this time. Inhale into chair. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, fingertips to the ground. Right leg back, knee down. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, we're back in plank. Chaturanga. Inhaling into up dog. Exhale, down dog. We hold down dog, 2 or 3 breaths. We inhale as we bring the right leg up. Exhale, we sweep that foot through, back knee down. Inhale into lunge. Exhale, back foot joins the front foot. We inhale halfway up. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale into chair. Exhale, mountain. Inhale, chair. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, left leg back, knee down. Inhale into lunge. Exhale into plank. Chaturanga. Inhaling into up dog. Exhale, down dog. Hold. Inhale the left leg up. Exhale, we sweep that foot through. Back knee down. Inhale as you sweep the arms up. Exhale, back foot joins the front foot. We inhale halfway up. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale into chair. Exhale, we come all the way up. How are we doing on time? We're good. Inhale, chair. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, plant your hands. Right leg back, this time high lunge. Inhale into the high lunge. Exhale, plank. Chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Down dog, few breaths. Inhale, the right leg up. Exhale, we sweep that foot through. High lunge. Inhaling as you come up. Exhale, back foot joins the front foot. We inhale halfway up. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale into chair. Exhale, mountain. Okay, we're nearly done. Inhale, chair. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, fingertips to the ground. Left leg back, knee high. Inhale into lunge. Exhale, plank. Chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Breath or two. Inhale the left leg up. Exhale, we sweep that foot through, back knee high. Inhale into the lunge. Exhale, hands down, back foot joins the front foot. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, folding forward, knees bent. We're back in chair again, and then we come all the way up. Okay, nice and warm. Inhale, chair. Let's do a chair twist. Right arm onto the outside of the left leg. Palms together, elbow up towards the ceiling. Twist in the other direction. Back into chair, and then come all the way up. Move those shoulders again, shake everything out. Okay, if you have a block, put the block in front of you. Standing pigeon. We're on the left foot, right leg is on top. We place the hands on that top leg. This top foot is nicely flexed, dorsiflexion. You're bending that standing knee, you're getting a nice stretch on the outside of that right hip. The block is there if you want to go a little deeper. Try and keep the back neutral. The more you bend the knee of the standing leg, the deeper you go, the more you're going to feel that hip stretch. The block has 3 heights. You can lower the block if you need to, or you can bring the fingertips to the ground. Keep this foot active. That keeps the knee nice and safe. Breathe. We come up, we shake out, move the shoulders, and then on the other side. If you'd rather do reclined pigeon on your back, that's fine. We're standing on the right leg, right knee is bent, top foot, dorsiflexion. Start off just resting the hands on that top leg, get used to it, get the balance. Nice hip stretch on the left side this time. And if you want to go deeper and your body's okay with that, you bend the knee a little bit more. So the block is here just to help keep the balance. Balance can be a little bit challenging on this one. We can lower the block, we can bring the fingertips to the ground, and we just hang out here. Quite a stretch on this one. And then we come back up. Okay, that felt so good. We're going to do it again. We're on the left foot, right foot on top. As some of you know, sometimes we go into flying pigeon. We're not going to do that today, but sometimes this is a warm-up for flying pigeon where we're bringing the hands down and we're just balancing on the hands. Go as deep as feels good, guys. Keep that top foot nice and active, heel pushed out, toes pulled in, dorsiflexion. And breathe. Try and keep the back neutral, try not to round the back. And then we come back up. And we switch. Flexing that top foot, Bending that standing knee, bringing the hands a little bit lower if it feels good. And usually it's good to do a pose more than once, because usually the subsequent times we can go a little deeper. Body's nicely warmed up, the muscles are stretched out a bit, and then we come back up and we shake everything out. Okay, eagle. I've been doing eagle a lot. Arms extended over to the side. We bring the right arm under the left arm, hands parallel. We bend the knees, we're in chair, we bring the right leg on top, we squeeze those legs and we try and hook that foot. We center the arms, we go a little bit lower, we breathe. And if you want, you can bring the arms up a bit higher. It's up to you. In Bikram yoga, hot yoga, they tend to keep the arms down. In Iyengar yoga, they tend to bring the arms up on this one. Whichever way, both ways feel good, both ways stretch out the upper back. Come out, shake everything out, loosen the arms, and then the other side, arms extended, left under right, feet together, into chair, left leg on top, and then we're going to try and hook that foot. Sometimes one side is a little bit more challenging. This is more challenging for me. The balance and trying to hook that foot, never mind. And maybe lift the arms up, take a breath or two. And release. So in cow face pose, the way they have the arms, I'm going to sit down so you can see me a little better, is I'm going to take my left arm behind me and I'm going to grab hold of the wrist and bring that arm over, and then bring the back of the hand between the shoulder blades. I then bring the other arm up and I try and hook the fingers. Once I've hooked the fingers, I try and slide that lower arm a little bit higher, and I'm trying to keep that top arm away from the face. So I'm trying not to push into the head. Quite an arm stretch. Now some people struggle with this, they can't get the fingers interlaced. They can't get contact between the hands. So what you could do is just have a strap. So you imagine you're just holding a strap instead of holding onto the fingers. Or instead, you can just hold onto the opposite elbows behind you, like this. So that's the way we do the arms typically in cow face pose. Release, move the shoulders. Quite a shoulder stretch. Other side, so I'm grabbing hold of my right wrist, so I'm trying to get that elbow more centered. Maybe sometimes I'll pull the elbow in. And then I try and get the back of the hand between the shoulder blades. Bring the other arm up. And as I bring it up, I'm trying to keep it close to the head. You don't want to let that elbow go out if you can avoid it. And then without pushing too much into the head and the neck, you hook the fingers. And then once you're hooked, you can slide that lower hand a little bit higher, and you can bring that top arm a little bit away from the head. Just like that. There we go. As I say, if your body doesn't like that one, just hold on to the opposite elbows. So the legs. Let's do a little bit of hip opener, then we'll talk about how to do the legs in cow face pose. So we're going to start off in Gomukhasana, and this is the reason we've been doing all that standing pigeon, is getting those hips open, and also eagle is good to open the shoulders and the hips. Gomukhasana, I'm holding onto the outside of the feet, I'm bringing those hips forward, trying to get the back nice and neutral, and then I'm just letting those legs come closer and closer to the ground. Sometimes we can flap, because people also call this butterfly, so flap the wings. And then we try and encourage those knees a little bit closer to the ground. If you find that your knees are high, your back is rounded, you've got tight hips, sitting on the block would be beneficial for you. The next thing I'd like you to try is I'm taking my right leg and I'm bringing the shin parallel to the front of the mat. I take the other leg on top and I'm basically, we're stacking the shins, so the left foot, right knee are sort of stacked, the right foot and the left knee are stacked. There's a gap here, and eventually that knee's going to come down and we're going to close the gap. If you don't like this one, you could do just a simple pose with this right foot pulled in and the left foot on top. Easy pose. You get more of a hip stretch, hip opener, if the shins are more parallel to the front of the mat. If you can do this pose with no gap, you've got open hips, you're probably okay to get into lotus. Not that we're going to do lotus today, that's just an FYI. We switch to the other side. This pose, shin stacked, no gap eventually, or you can just do that easy pose that I showed you. Okay, so for the cow face pose, usually I go into do the legs first. I've just got to get the tissue, just hang on a second. Allergies playing up a little bit today. Okay, so yes, so I'm going to bring the right foot in and I'm going to bring the left leg on top. Now we want to try and get that gap between the legs closed. Now the only way I can get closer is to actually come up and squeeze the legs closer and then sit back down. That's the best I can do it with the legs. And my feet, they're not sort of in line, but this is the best I can do. Back is neutral. Now this, my left knee is the top knee, which means your left elbow is going to go up. So we're going to take the right hand behind us, just like I showed you before, bringing the back of the hand between the shoulder blades, and we then hook the fingers. You do that shoulder stretch, you try not to push into the head. Cow face pose. I can't remember why they call it cow face pose, but it's supposed to look like a cow, the face of a cow. Nice hip stretch, nice shoulder stretch, a lot going on. We release the arms. Now to get to the other side, a nice trick, and we've done this before, and you can do this from a twist as well, is we're going to circle through 360. So if your left knee is on top, you circle through a clockwise direction, keeping the feet where they are. So just like this. And you magically end up with the other leg on top, but they're not close enough for me, so I have to come up. I squeeze the legs together, I sit back down. Right knee is on top, so the right elbow has to go on top, so I bring in the left hand behind me, between the shoulder blades. Right arm up, hook the fingers. Or if this is tough for the shoulders and the arms, you just hold on to the opposite elbows behind you. And we can hang out here for a few breaths. I'm just going to try and get my legs a little bit closer in. That's as far as it goes. So once you've got those fingers hooked, you can probably slide that lower hand up the back slightly, and you can keep this top arm a little bit free from the head. So you don't want to push into that head. You don't want to sort of stress the neck out on this one. And then we release. That's the best part of some yoga poses, is coming out of the pose. Release the legs. Cross the legs. Come onto your hands and knees. Downward facing dog, and walk the dog. We bring the knees down, and let's take child's pose for a breath or two. And then we slowly come up. Come high up on the knees. Camel prep. We're not going to do the full camel. We're going to keep the hips over the knees, and we're just going to support the lower back, keep the back protected, engage the core, start to lean into the hands, leaning backward, engage the glutes, head goes back carefully, you breathe. And then we slowly come up. And we come into child's pose. Take 3 or 4 breaths. And then we come back up. Come onto your back. If you have a block, have the block handy. Walk the feet in. Let's go into bridge. Feet are parallel, feet are pulled in well, gaze towards the ceiling. You can reach the block. You bring the hips up. Keeping the legs nice and parallel, don't let them splay. Working the glutes. Hold bridge. If you have a block, you can come into a restorative bridge with the block underneath, and you can just relax. If you don't have a block, you're going to have to work to hold it. If you do have the block, maybe you can get the block at the full height. And then maybe you can bring the legs up into an inversion. You could do this with the block at half height, if you prefer, or you could support the back with the hands, like this, and bring the legs up. Not quite a shoulder stand. But the problem with that one, and always keep the thumbs outside so they're not sticking into the kidney. A lot of pressure on that area of the hand where the thumb joint is. So sometimes that's a little bit of a challenge. With the block, it's a little bit easier. If your block is squidgy, if it's a soft block and it's full height, you're going to have to support it with the hands. Wherever you're at, slowly come down, releasing the block, pull the knees in, and we'll just rock. Then we'll take a little bit of a twist. So keep the knees pulled in, and then take the knees over to the right side as you extend the left arm, looking over the left shoulder. Extended arm, palm up, shoulder pulled down and in, shoulder grounded. Inhale, add the twist, we rock from side to side, and we twist in the other direction. Knees to the left, extending the right arm, looking over the right shoulder. You're pulling that right shoulder away from the head, pulling the shoulder blade in, trying to get that shoulder grounded. And then we come back up. We take a full body stretch, bringing the arms over the head, getting length. A little bit of a side stretch into that banana shape. And then stretch out the other side. Recenter, and then Shavasana. Shavasana, arms by the side, palms face up. Just relaxing, letting every part of the body soften, just letting yourself sink into the ground. Eyes closed, breathing regular. Maybe moisten the lips here. So let's work on the hands a little bit. Just stretch the hands out, spreading the fingers, and then clench, stretch out again, and clench, stretch, and clench, and relax the hands. Walk the feet in, and we're just going to roll over to one side. Take 2 or 3 breaths. And with the eyes closed, we come up into a seated position. And then inhale as the arms come up. Exhale, palms together as you bring the arms down. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. This time keep the palms together. Namaste.